Okay, y'all, I am just a mom who is doing her best to keep up with all the things. So when I say that, I am recording this podcast after spending the day at a choir concert. It was called Circle the State. It's here in Oklahoma. And it was this whole event where fourth, fifth, and sixth graders who were in choir in their schools got to come together and spend a whole day singing. And it was a really cool thing, amazing thing. When I say, guys, I'm literally just a mom trying to do the things, trying to keep up with it all, and still show up and pursue dreams and serve people like you. I am coming half off the heels of that event to record this podcast episode today. So here's the deal. When I was thinking about this week's topic, to be completely honest with you, I have been going through some like, I wouldn't say like self-discovery. It's not really that. It's more of like I'm discovering what it means to run a different kind of business. Some things I dealt with this week were recognizing that I was operating and thinking like a service provider, and I really wanted to think like a lifestyle influencer. But then I also know I'm called to coach people and things like that and like build people up and like speak life into them and all of that. And anyway, I had to get really real with myself this week about like, okay, here's things that I want. Here's what I know God has called me to that I cannot avoid as much as I might want to. And then I had this whole epiphany and looked at my husband and I was like, bro, I have been freaking living in Delululand since we went on a vacation in October. So are y'all ready to talk about what's good? Because you're listening to the What's Good podcast with Hillary. And listen, I want this to be a place where I'm just like me and I just talk a little more. And so when you listen to this podcast, when you watch me on YouTube or wherever you're watching at, none of this is scripted. I do some slight editing to cut out a few of my ums and extra words like that to help cancel out some of the pauses just to enhance the experience for you. But for me, like, I'm not really into a ton of editing. And yeah. So anyways, I hope that you like it here. But okay, so let's go to the whole conversation around like me being so Delulu. Now, I want to first say that last week, something that we talked about was my word of the year this year. My intention of the year is to focus on becoming, really who I'm becoming. Becoming is my word of the year. And I shared some things last week where I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I said all that. And I was like, and I'm posting it. So who cares? Anyway, so I hope you got something from that. But for me, I wanted to share. So I used to tell youth kids this all the time. And sorry, I talk in loops. Hopefully you can hang with that too. But anyway, let me back up for just a second. And this is going to give you context maybe to who I am, the way I share stories, and the way I'm about to talk about what I'm going to talk about on the podcast this episode. Okay. So back when I was doing youth ministry, there were girls who really students of both genders or whatever, like they would be going through a lot. Some of them, you would look at them and you would know the family they came from and everything. And you would be like shocked that they were struggling the way that they were. And then there's other kids that you knew they had it rough at home. And I would always start things off like kids do this thing, students or whatever, they do this thing where they say like unspoken prayer requests, and they don't want to share their thing out loud. But then if they're comfortable with you, they may come to you at another time, separate from everybody else, and share with you what's going on and ask for prayer, ask for advice, or just need someone to listen. So for me, when those moments would happen, there is something specific that I would do. Every single time, I would tell them my junk first. I would tell them my mess first. I would tell them some story, and I would keep it pretty short, of things that I went through or things that I've done, things I've experienced, so that they would feel like, oh, this girl ain't about to judge me. You know what I mean? Or she's not about to, act weird because I said that or, whatever. So I found myself last week recording my episode for coming to the What's Good podcast and leaving 2 other podcast names in the past. I've done a couple iterations of this podcast. But anyways, coming to a fresh space. And I think it was just natural for me to be like, here's my mess so that if you ever reach out to me, if you ever get coached by me, literally anything at all, you're going to know I have no judgment for you. I literally have been a hot mess for a lot of my life. I have not reached perfection or anything, And so no part of me is ever going to look at you and say like, what did you just say? And I can't believe that. And like me have any type of judgment about who you are, the way that you're thinking, anything like that. No matter what it is, I may speak life into you. I may speak truth into you, but I will never judge you for the things that you've said. Or the things that you've shared. So for me, I think that's where I was sharing from last week. So let's fast forward to conversation. So we talked about like my marriage and everything last week, right? So that's where I'm going to start it today. So I told Zeres literally just like 2 days ago, I was like, or no, maybe it was just like a day ago. Anyway, I was like, dude, I have been living in delusion ever since our trip back in October. So in October of 2025, we went to Atlanta. So Zeres was out there already for a conference with Chick-fil-A. He is the GM here. Another name for that is like the director or whatever. So executive director. So anyways, he was out there for conference. And then I went out there with my sister-in-law and her best friend. Like all of us went out there for the weekend, really like just to spend time with him, like go see corporate, all of these things. It would be amazing if Zeres owns a Chick-fil-A one day. And I've never said that out loud, like in this kind of format. So I'm saying it like that now. We'll get into that at another time about like our experience and my experience and stuff. But anyway, because that's not the point right now. But going out there, oh my gosh, I was so blown away. I was so like, this is amazing. I can't believe what you're a part of, being a part of this company. I was so impressed. And when I tell you, like, my BS radar is pretty high. Like, I have been through things that completely shocked me. And so now I'm like, like, it's not because I'm super pessimistic. It's more of like I'm too aware that everyone is human, that everyone can make mistakes, that everyone can get tempted to do things from a place of no integrity, okay? And so anyway, so when I go into a place where those things are very few far in between, like I haven't seen it yet. I know every organization has it. I know some of you who are listening may even have judgment against the company and stuff like that. But for me, I haven't seen anything that I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so terrible. So anyway, so being out there, the experience is so amazing. And I'm over here like, Zeres is having conversations with people and things like that. And I'm looking at my husband and I'm like, bro, you could own one for real. Like, I've always believed in Zeres, but there's certain things that I would be like, but I don't know if we should do that. So again, like I said, I want to talk about that in another episode. This situation, I was like, oh no, you can. I've always known that about you and you should. Like now I'm over here like, what do I need to sign? Like, what do I need to say? What do I need to do? Like, take my husband, do whatever you want with him because like, let's make this thing happen. That's how I see it. So anyway, so I came home so just like on fire for everything Chick-fil-A. I was like, I'm gonna be a Chick-fil-A wife. Like, I want to do all these things and just like all of this stuff. And I started dreaming about like what we could do, how we could serve people like insane. Like we have so many ideas for things that we want to do that I think directly go back to like Zeres' story and stuff that he went through whenever he was younger and how he wants to be able to help people now who may be walking through what he went through. And oh my gosh, I get fired up about the whole vision here of like, please God, let this be, and if it's not, all right, but maybe. So anyway, so here's the deal. So I've been so like So that was in October. Here we come, and here we go with the radical honesty. That's the topic of the day, by the way. So I get home. I'm so pumped up. I'm so excited. So at the time, I had like a handful of social media management clients still. I wasn't actively marketing it. I was still doing brand partnerships, like stuff like that. I want to say I was still even co-coaching with someone. Anyway, all these different little things going. Okay, the co-coaching thing ended. A couple of my clients didn't need to renew going into the new year. Between October to that was at the end of October. So really between November to the end of December, a lot of things changed with not just the way I made money, but with the way that my business could look going into this year. And I was like, I've been so in this Delululand of we're going to own a Chick-fil-A. That process takes a while, y'all. And I'm over here not even working with the same hustle that I'm used to because I'm over here oh no, it's all gonna be with anyway. Okay, so then reality hits. It is the second week of January. I'm home from a cruise that we went on with our family, and so I was kind of counting on some things to happen with the co-coaching situation, knowing that was different now. And then I'm like, okay, well, that's obviously a thing that I'm going to make a new plan moving forward. Also with the clients and stuff, I'm like, oh, they're not here either. I'm feeling it now. My bank account's seeing it now. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff. And so anyway, so I had this moment of oh my God. Now I've had some things that even were kind of floating me through my delusion, moving into my studio and where everything feels like one thing, but the reality is actually very different. Okay. I felt oh, we're going to own a Chick-fil-A. I'm moving into my studio. That means the house is getting situated too because I'm not in there with all my stuff. I've been over here living in Delululand since October. And here we are, going into February. And I'm oh, it's going to take a minute. Oh, we have a dream. We have a vision. We have our words of the year. All of that. And here is reality. Here's reality. Oh my gosh. So anyway, I said that to him and I realized, I said it to him and he even said he's kind of been feeling that way too. He's like, I know what you mean. Because he gets that every time he goes to corporate. Anytime he gets to do something with Chick-fil-A, he just gets so fired up. And so if you've ever been a kid that grew up, especially if you're a kid from the South like me, and you go to your church camp and stuff in the summer and you have these little mountaintop moments with Jesus and you're just so oh my gosh, everything. And then you go home and it just be different. Okay. That's what it's like visiting Chick-fil-A corporate. Now, it's not you go home and everything is terrible, but you are so in just this beautiful, amazing environment. And then you go home and you have to remember, oh yeah, it takes work to get there. It's not just gonna happen. I mean, unless God just wants to do it, then we receive it. Okay. So anyway, so he had that moment too. And it was just really funny. So then I started thinking about okay, what have I kind of been delusional about? What have I been ignoring? And then that's when I was oh yeah, I have been feeling this way this week. So what do I want to do about that? So this week, I really saw that oh my gosh, the way that I am even creating some of what I've already told you guys about, I'm doing it with some of the same mindset, almost as if you have always done something a certain way, and then you're exposed to a new way of doing it, but out of habit, you're just doing what you've always done. Not even, it's subconscious. It's not even something, okay, hold on. Sun's going down. I'm just checking what I look like. Okay, sun's going down and I'm oh man, I hope it doesn't look crazy. And I know I have my Chick-fil-A cup over here and my little gold elephant and whatever. Anyway, okay. Eventually I'll have more furniture in here and it's going to look really just chill. I want a little couch and anyway, so these will be way more casual, but so, what was I saying? Okay. So I recognize like even the stuff that I'm sharing with you guys, I was kind of doing it the same way I would have done it before. But so many things are different now. Like what I want has changed. Like my big picture goal looks a little different. Just all these things are different. And I'm like, why am I creating, a community that looks like communities I've launched in the past a little bit? I say that this is not the same thing, but the way I'm setting it up is literally the same. It's like having a template in your mind and you're like, well, this is the template, or like, this is like the stencil, And it's like, we get to literally throw that stencil away, like throw that template away and do something fresh and new here. So I recognized that. And then I recognized that I was also avoiding something. And then that's when I had to get like radically honest with myself. And that's what I want to talk about for the rest of this time. I saw that stuff, I recognized that stuff, and then I recognized that I have been avoiding something. And I was excited to do this thing and to just be so radically honest about it. I will have a list of things that pops in my mind associated with a thing that I could do that convinces me it is not worth all that. I don't want to do that. I just don't want it. And that's not actually true. I do want to do this thing. So what it is coaching. Okay. Now I'm not about to pitch you on coaching, but I do want to share this thought process with you and like where I'm at right now. And yeah, so I have coached people throughout the years now. Even when I was prioritizing doing social media management, there's always been 1 to 5 to even more than that at times, people there where it's almost like I can't help but coach you. I can't help but like mentor you if you're younger than me. Like I can't help but to answer the questions if you have them. And so I have had good experiences. And then I won't say it's a bad experience, but like I've had experiences that did drain me. And I've had experiences where I felt like I was being taken advantage of in a way. And so coaching altogether kind of feels like a little bit of a hassle. There's a husband I was telling you all about. He's looking at me. He's so cutie. But he's about to walk in here. No, like he's about to be on YouTube and everything. I'm on my podcast. Anyways, hey, my podcast is called What's Good, Xerxes. So what's good in your life today? You can't ignore me. You got to answer. Over here, camera shy. This dude is not shy at all. There's not a shy bone in his body unless a camera is in front of him. And then he's like, I don't know. But he's not shy. What do you want to say to the people? He's saying, I'm not kidding. Oh, this reminds me. I see this girl. Like, this is just like a little commercial break real quick while I get my thoughts back in order. He literally just like snuck through here. This girl posted something on TikTok because she was like, I don't know why you guys say stuff about like your husband doesn't even like you or your boyfriend doesn't even like you because he doesn't want to be in that video. And she was just like, my man, like I like my men like this. And she was like, so if they want to be doing stuff in front of the camera, like I wouldn't even be attracted to that. Now, here's the deal. I would be attracted to Zari's doing stuff in front of the camera with me, but he will never do it when I put him on the spot. So he wasn't about to talk to y'all. Anyways, okay, let's get back to the story. Okay, so I have had my experiences with coaching that put me in a place of like this internal wrestle of I know I'm supposed to, but God, if it could pass for me, like I don't want it anyway, but I want it. So I recognized that I was like avoiding it, and I have been making decisions to set up things in my business going into this year in a way that like guarded me from actually having to do it. And I was like, no, what am I doing? Because here's the truth. I am not trying to go after more social media management clients. So that's another thing. Like I don't want to go after more social media management clients right now. So because of that, I have to recognize like, well, we're not opening a Chick-fil-A today, Okay, now you have to say something because I don't edit my podcast. I literally don't. You guys know that. I don't edit it. I don't cut anything out. I'm completely real. So now you have to say something because you're in here. He's dancing in front of me. No, he's going to say something. I'm not going to make you get on here, but you have to say something now. You have to answer. You're going to answer one question. Let's see if he'll do it. The one question is, oh wait, you can't work out here right now while that can't happen. I'm literally recording my podcast series. Like now I'm at the point, all you guys, like if you're a content creator who follows me, like you understand my frustration. Like now I'm starting to get hot. And now I'm sitting here like, what the heck? Are you kidding me? He doesn't see, here's the deal. Here's the truth about being a content creator and stuff like that. We're going to get back to the story. He is not even considering the fact that I was with his kid, his firstborn, all day today, listening to a bunch of 4th, 5th, and 6th graders sing since 8 a.m. Come home. Got to put my hustle hat on because I don't get paid to be a wife. So last I checked, okay, that's what we're talking about, that Delulu stuff. We're living in Delululand and money doesn't just come out of nowhere. We got to do our things. Zeres, you can't stay in here while I'm finishing my podcast, but you do have to answer this question. Yep. Here's the question. Ready? What's good? Nope. You have to say one thing. What's good from one thing today? Your day today. You got to tell us just one good thing from today. You got to get a little closer. I won't make you show your face. He's thinking about it. If I cared about editing, I would do the whole, this is gonna be a funny one. I hope you like it. One good thing. Just say one good thing. You did. Here's the deal. For people okay, here we go. His one good thing.
Man, those ashy elbows on that camera.
Oh yeah? Were your ashy elbows on the camera?
One good thing today would have to be seeing Zamara today on stage. She's awesome. She loves it. And just seeing her and how happy she was. And it's really cool. So I think that would be my highlight of the day. Other than that, I love being at work, helping people, our team grow and be better. So good conversations.
Good. Thank you, sir. Here's the deal about Samara and why it was his radio voice is what he said. Oh, this is another little side note really quick. We're having fun on this episode, y'all. Samara actually, in 2020, that would have been her pre-K year. We did homeschool because 2020. So she was socially just a little bit slower to do certain things socially. She had a really hard time with certain stuff. And so we actually were a little bit concerned about development and things like that. And then boom, she goes to school the next year and she blossomed. And then ever since then, she's kind of just become this kid that we're so impressed by and shocked of is this our kid? She loves reading, all of this stuff. And we're like, that's not us. We don't know where that came from. And she's such an amazing singer. Genuinely, she's an amazing singer. So anyway, okay. So that's why, when we say, we're proud of, what we see with Zamara, it's because as her parents, we watched her, go from living in a shell, truly, to blossoming into this kid with these amazing talents and these passions that we're just wow. So anyway, so it's really, really cool. Okay. So back to the things I was talking about. So the whole delusional thing and being well, I'm not trying to look at me jumping right back into the story. Y'all know that's mom brain right there. That is mom brain is foggy when they're little. And then as you get older and you're trying to do your own things and they interrupt you so much, you have to get really good at being able to jump right back on into what you were talking about, especially when you have a husband just be coming in your space. Okay. So here we go. So the whole, not pursuing more social media management clients and things like that. Okay. With that, I'm but how am I going to make money right now? What's my actual business right now? And so the thing with brand partnerships, let me just say this little thing. If you've never heard this before. So brand partnerships are not always, depending on your size and your experience with it all, it is not the most consistent income out of all your options online. It's a good income. It is not always consistent. The other thing with it is that you could have a brand partnership today, and most of the time your contract is going to say you will either be paid within or at day 30 after posting, after that content has been published, or between the 30 to 60 day mark. It's normally 30, 45, 90, or 60, 90, like is kind of the range that I've seen on contracts. If I need money right now because I don't have clients as of January 1st, then like brand partnerships is not the only thing that I should be considering, right? But if I'm living in Delululand thinking that, oh, everything's going to change in my life. Yeah, what? So anyway, so I was like, okay, why am I avoiding the thing that I'm actually like really good at doing? I know I could help people with. I actually do a lot. I answer questions for a lot of people. I have friends that have bigger followings than me and stuff, but they didn't know how to price themselves or like negotiate with a brand or things like that. I've helped them do that. And I've helped people figure out what their marketing should be for their business, or just how to make decisions about the business that they want to build. Like there's a lot of different things. I have helped people get better at communicating, have a better mindset towards being an entrepreneur and navigating what that looks like with their family and all of that kind of stuff. So anyway, I have coached people for years and I know I'm actually good at it. And I know I help people. For anybody who is like, okay, Hillary, I trust you and I'm going to try what you're saying. Those people have seen results from what I've said, from things that I've done, whether it be a complete unlock and now they're working on a book and now they're able to write multiple chapters and they were completely blocked before talking to me. And I'm not taking credit for like all that stuff. I'm just, because I don't want it to come out like that. But what I am going to say is that I know God has put it in me for me to be good at that because of what good comes out for others when I step into it. So that being said, I had to get radically honest about why I was avoiding it. So on one hand, there is a lot of layers to coaching and things. And then I had to get even deeper than the like, I've had so experiences, right? I had to get a little deeper than that and say, okay, but even if that, why? Like, what could I do differently? And then I was like, well, as radically honest as I have had to be with myself over the last year, or really over the last few years, with as radically honest that I've had to get so that my marriage could be in a place where that whole situation a couple years ago, that would have turned into a full fight. It would have been a whole argument because I'm not getting the space that I need because he doesn't support my business. And wow, like I'm telling y'all, I'll tell you my mess so that you know I will not judge you, because I know if you are a stay-at-home mom and you run a business, you have had those moments. So girl, don't lie. Okay. So anyway, so for me, there's a lot of things I've had to get radically honest with myself about so that I could live the life that I'm living right now. And even if I'm not making the money that I want to make right now in this season, it doesn't mean I've not made that money before. I've just got to tap back into, okay, what does it look like now? And how could it be different? I have to be radically honest about the fact that I've been in a little bit of an autopilot mode when it comes to the way that I want to grow and the way I want to operate as an entrepreneur. I have been an autopilot, as in I have systems that do work. I have habits that work. I have things like that, but I'm not trying to work the same way. So I need to learn some new things. I need to allow myself to be a little humble. I need to listen to some different things and kind of see what I could do. I have to be radically honest. So here's the deal. I will not coach anyone that I can't be radically honest with. That's the other side of that. Just today, I recognized in 2 different conversations with 2 different people, 2 completely different situations, I recognized I felt like I would be lacking integrity, that I would be in a way, like, I don't know if the word is like to say I would be lying, because it's not like I would be lying, but I would be withholding my opinion, knowing that my take or my perspective maybe would be the better thing than opinion, because it's not even my opinion. It's stuff I've witnessed, the stuff that I've lived, the stuff that I know. But I realized, like, if I keep this to myself, I feel like I'm lacking integrity. I'm not being just radical honesty doesn't mean that someone has to ask you, just be honest with me. No, radical honesty goes first. It is not because someone asked for it. It's because you're just offering it up. Okay. Like I have to just offer it up to me, and I have to offer it up to others about my stuff, you know, so that we could be on the same page. Same thing when I see two people that I'm friends with, that I'm pouring into, people that I've coached and I have that kind of relationship with, and I see I can either be radically honest and tell them the truth that I know, or I could withhold it to protect a relationship, to avoid conflict, to not come off a way where they may perceive me out of my character. That is probably, like, when I tell you my deepest thing that has ever bothered me, my deepest thing is being misunderstood. And it is for a lot of reasons. Maybe we'll get into that in another episode, but like saying things at the risk of being misunderstood, saying things at the risk of your perception of me changing because of what I have to tell you. And I am compelled to tell you this truth. I'm compelled to tell you the truth about what I'm seeing. I'm compelled to tell you the truth about what I know and what I witnessed, things like that, so that you could have a better experience tomorrow, so that you can make a clearer decision, so that you can feel more confident and not crazy because of the feelings that you're having, and stuff doesn't really feel all that settled. There's a reason why. And so I had to recognize, like, oh my gosh, that is a version of me that I have not been. What? Okay, I'll come in just a second. Okay. I'll come in just a second. I'm going to have to cut this off